everybody. This week, something I want to talk about is something that is, to me, seems like the number one goal that most parents have, especially parents who are coming to work with me, which is to stop losing their temper with their kids or to stop yelling with their kids. Eliminating yelling, I'm going to give you 3 tools that you can use. This is going to be a super short, sweet, and bam, powerful video for you, because if you incorporate these 3 things into your life, I almost guarantee you are not going to be losing your temper with your kid anymore. The first piece of not yelling at your kids is not multitasking. I want you to think about the last time you lost your temper with your kiddo. I would put money on the fact that you were probably trying to do something else at the same time that you were disciplining your kid. Making dinner, talking on the phone, answering emails, talking to a friend, folding laundry. Even just, I'll tell you, my biggest multitasking mistake that I make is thinking about things that are like big question marky problem solving conundrums in my mind while I am around my kids. Big mistake. I could just be sitting there seemingly doing nothing, but really my mind is going a million miles a minute and cranking away at something. My kid asked me the most simple question in the world, and I'm like, what? What's your problem? I lose my temper because I'm distracted. Multitasking is the devil. You've already heard me say this before if you're already working with me. Multitasking is the way for us to feel super, super distracted. When you're multitasking, what's happening is you're focusing on one thing while over here in your peripheral vision, so to speak, there's an emergency. There's a fire that needs to be put out. It gives us a sense of panic all the time because there's something that needs our attention that we're not giving attention to. That feeling is awful. The other way that multitasking is the devil is that you really just don't do a good job of any of the things that you're doing. So it's a great way for you to feel anxious, stressed, and panicked all the time while totally doing a crappy job of everything that you're working on. So multitasking, number 1 way to eliminate yelling with your kids. Number 2 way to eliminate yelling with your child is to implement immediate consequences. Do not repeat yourself. Do not say the same thing over and over and over again, beating your head against the wall like a broken record, because by the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th time you say it, it's really, really hard not to be yelling. But if you respond to a misbehavior, the second it happens, don't wait for it to just like magically improve or for some like epiphany to occur in your child's mind. That's not going to happen. You give a directive, you make a request, you wait and see if it happens. And if it doesn't, no worries. Implement your consequence right away. Immediate consequences mean that you're responding to your child's behavior before you're getting frustrated and angry and flying off the handle. Almost all of our yelling with our kids are solved by these 2 things. If you think about the last times you've yelled at your kids or lost your temper with your kids, once again, I would bet money that you are multitasking and or I have already said the thing a million times. Your kid's doing something you've already told them not to do, or they already know is against the rules, or et cetera, et cetera. Those 2 things are the contributors to like 99% of parents losing their temper. So quit multitasking, quit repeating yourself. And if you haven't already gotten the free workbook that I give away all the time, ways to get kids to listen the first time to break that broken record syndrome, y'all should have that under your belts. Okay. Email me, reply to this email, and I can send it to you if you don't already have it. It is killer. Okay. And then the third thing is something that kind of builds on what I talked about last week, which is breaking your own cycles. So the other 1% of us losing our temper with our kids has to do with what's going on with us internally. The stories we're telling ourselves about what our kids' behaviors mean, the ways that we allow our children's behavior to make us feel, the beliefs that we have about ourselves and our kids based on their behavior. That is a cycle. It is a cycle that we have inherited from our parents, from the way that we were raised. And it's something that's optional, even though right now it's your default. And that is why working with me is more powerful than just reading a parenting book or taking a parenting class. Any parenting book out there, any parenting class you take is going to help you with that whole multitasking and immediate consequences and stuff like that. Working with a coach, you definitely get all that stuff. You're going to get an amazing parenting course from me. But the piece that you that you get from working with a coach is the help and the emotional level, the stories that you tell, the beliefs that you have, what happens with you internally when your child misbehaves that leads you to basically have an emotional outburst. That's what we mean when we say losing our temper. Your emotional outbursts come from ding, 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 your emotions. And if we're not addressing your emotions, we're not really helping you change in a fundamental, lasting way the relationship that you're creating with your child and the outcome that you are formulating with that kid. And so that's why having a coach is so powerful. If that sounds like something that you want in your life, if you are ready to get help with not just the parenting skills, but also the stuff that makes using those skills challenging, that's my job. That's what I'm here for. Look in your email. There's a link to a discovery call with me. Set it up. It is free. It is an hour of us getting to know each other, me understanding what's going on for you and what your biggest challenges are, and giving you my direct, honest feedback about how that can change. And you will walk away from that meeting with me knowing exactly what you're up against and what you can do about it. It is a very empowering experience. I can't wait to see you, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye, everybody.